This is the lineup that will be going for 14 consecutive wins, the longest streak in the American League this year. DJ LeMahieu back out there at second base this afternoon. Anthony Rizzo heating up just a bit. He is at first base once again. Jumbo package begins with Aaron Judge in center field. Hit a big 3-run home run last night. Giancarlo Stanton mashed a 472-foot home run last night. He is once again in right field. Joey Gallo hit a double off the left field wall last night. Great defender. He is in left field this afternoon. Luke Voigt mashed a home run to center field last night. He is once again in there as your designated hitter. Gary Sanchez back behind the dish today. Kyle Higashioka gets the day off. Rougned Odor is once again at third base. Gio gets the day off. And Andrew Velasquez out there at shortstop. He continues to be impressive. And on the mound, Nestor Cortez Jr., the 5'11", 210-pound left-hander, has been a revelation in 2021. He is 2-1 with a 2.56 ERA in 56 and a third innings, 1.065 whip or walks and hits per innings pitched, 60 strikeouts, and the Yankees have him under control for a long time. He may be a long-term piece to this Yankees rotation. Let's hope so. And so goes the streak. But as they say, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. How about a nice round of applause for the 13-game win streak and the New York Yankees? It had to end sometime. Just happened to be on a steamy afternoon in Oakland. And even though they lost, I'm proud of them because this was a great streak and they fought right to the end. They didn't give up. They were shut down by a red-hot pitcher today. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you run into a guy who's throwing the ball great. To me, it just looked like the guys couldn't square up the ball today. There were some sloppy things. Rizzo had a bad day at first base. But for the most part, it was just you ran into a really good pitcher today. A's were putting the ball in play off of Cortez early. They jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the second. First time the Yankees have trailed in a game since Tuesday in Atlanta. A balk by Cortez brings in a second run to make it 2-0. Nestor didn't think it was a balk. The umpires were blowing calls all day. I thought the ball call was blown, and then they blew one at third base, and then the replay crew of Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles blew the replay. There was a force out at third base, and Odor was off the base by 2 feet, and it was clear as day. Any camera. But they got it wrong on the replay. It worked out to the benefit of the Yankees, but still, you got to do better than that. Nestor Cortez was just okay, pitched into the 6th inning, gave up 3 runs today. Albert Abreu and Lucas Litke were good out of the pen. Joey Gallo made a really nice catch out there in left field once again. Anthony Rizzo, really tough day in the field. Couldn't pick anything over there. All we hear about is how great he is at scooping the ball, and he messed up on a few different scoops. You hear all the time about how important it is to have a good scooping first baseman in Oakland. Like Jason Giambi got really good at scooping because you have so much foul territory behind first base that, sometimes a runner can take 2 bases if you don't scoop it. So, hey, it is what it is. Frankie Montas has been red hot, and he just shut down the Yankees. Yankees did do some damage in the 9th inning. Rizzo picks up a bloop single to left field, trying to beat the shift, just kind of shoots it over an empty area. And then Aaron Judge hit a long home run, his 29th of the year, 2-run shot to cut the lead at 3-2. But that's how it ends. And the Yankees fall, and the streak is over. Lori C says Rizzo needs some rest. Yeah, Rizzo's played first base pretty much every day for the last, week or so. After coming back from COVID, I don't know what that takes out of you or it's different for everybody, right? I don't know what it took out of him. Maybe he's, just struggling a little bit physically. I think you're onto something, Lori. I do think that he might need a little bit of rest. Keisha says, I'm sorry, but Gallo needs to get hot already. It's hard to watch him. He did hit a home run the other night. He's been pretty solid. Mr. Wells says, is Judge in the MVP running? Not unless he changes his name to Shohei Ohtani and wins by accident. What happened with Rizzo? Why was he sloppy? Like Lori said, I just think he was tired. I just think he was, he just looks like he was a little bit lethargic in that Texas heat. And sometimes, you just have a bad day. I mean, we've all had a bad day at work one time. One time I spilled SpaghettiOs on the kitchen floor in my office twice in the same day. Sometimes you just have a dog shit day and you can usually smell it coming. But, it was just one of those days for Anthony Rizzo. Riley Moore says Judge now has 20 consecutive days on base. Respect Shack says, what's our record for day games? I don't know. I don't have that stat in front of me. Let's see here. Sprinting Water says he hopes the Rays lose today, man. Yeah, the Rays playing the Orioles. It seems like they play the Orioles constantly. By the way, is my mic coming in good? Yesterday we had some mic issues. The show, 24/7, says we had a good run, but it ain't over. We have a whole month to catch up to the Rays. Thank you for the dono. Let's go with my favorite dono. Bertnice De Leon, sorry if I butchered that. I did butcher that. Says that the whole lineup was cold today. So a good pitcher can really do that to you. A good pitcher can just keep you off balance. He's got a nasty splitter. A splitter, if you look at pitches by effectiveness, tends to be the most effective pitch in baseball if you've got a good one. Masahiro Tanaka used to dominate with that pitch. Roger Clemens dominated with that pitch. Let me think. Who else? John Smoltz had a really good one. Kurt Schilling, great splitter. A lot of great splitters. Even Jose Contreras, when he was dominating during that 2005 run with the White Sox, ex-Yankee, his splitter / forkball was really in a groove, and that's what really led him. He had a good fastball, too. Another guy who didn't pitch well in New York, but did better elsewhere. Splitter's an effective pitch, and this guy had a good splitter. He had good command of the fastball. Looks like he's a high spin rate guy. I didn't look at the numbers, but just judging by the swings guys had on him, and that he had a 93-mile-an-hour slider that looked like more of a cutter to me. It looked like a Mariano Rivera cutter today almost. It was late. It was a short break. It wasn't a big, wispy slider, kind of like that last guy had. What's his name? Sergio Romo? Yeah, Romo's got more of a lateral pitch. It's more of a big, roundhouse slider, whereas Montas was just throwing a hard slider. As that's tough to hit when a guy's spotting all of his pitches. He went 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. He threw 98 pitches and 63 of them were strikes. So 2 out of every 3 pitches was a strike. I mean, there's not much you can do against a guy who's dealing like that. But Aaron Judge, got the Yankees on the board in the 9th. If the Yankees had, somehow gotten another run, Stanton popped up on a hanger and he was pissed off about it. He threw his bat in disgust. If he hits that ball out of the ballpark and the Yankees tie it up, not only would they have won this game, but I think they might have gone on to 25 straight wins, because that's the type of thing that gets that momentum going. I'm happy to see that the team has another, little, I don't even know what the term is. It's like an inside joke where they're all doing the jumping jacks because that's what Anthony Rizzo does to stay loose. I got to start doing some more jumping jacks. I always forget how good an exercise it is. It's a good exercise, and you don't need a lot of room. Jumping jacks, push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, running in place, lunges. These are all things you can do to get in shape that I should do, that I don't do. And I'm going to go eat some pizza. It is what it is. Peter Carrasquillo says, one loss is not going to kill us. We will be back. Amen, brother. Amen. Jesse Rodriguez says the Rizzo bloop got through, but the Sanchez and DJ lasers didn't. That's baseball, Susan. Absolutely. That's what David Cohn likes to call the BABIP gods, batting average on balls in play. Back in the day, before all these fancy metrics, we would just say it evens out. You hit one hard, and the shortstop catches it, then you expect that at some point you're going to get jammed or pull off and have a bad swing and hit a little bloop flare over the corner infielder and get a double out of it. It evens out generally. The hitter you are is generally who you are. Jared Miller with the super chat. Appreciate that. Jared, you can type in a chat when you give a dono and I will put it on screen, but I appreciate the support. Fritz Walter says, should be thankful they are playing good baseball. Don't want to judge a whole season concerning if they win the World Series. I lost the thread a little bit there on that comment, but one game is not going to make or break a season at this point. The Yankees' slow start was tough. This 13-game win streak has offset that some. You don't have a 13-game win streak every year. It's been over 30 years since the Yankees have had a streak this long. It would be nice if they could rattle off another 5 or 6 in a row beginning tomorrow. That's one great thing about baseball. You play every day, so you get a chance to, get right back off the mat. You've got Jordan Montgomery going tomorrow, and it's on ESPN. It's a ESPN Sunday night game, so the Yankees are used to playing on the national stage, whereas maybe the A's aren't. That could be a factor. It really could be. And then Monday, you got Corey Kluber coming back. What's he going to be like? I'll have more on him next time I do an episode of The Frieze, probably Monday morning. Mr. Wells drops to $1.99. Appreciate that, Mr. Wells. Riley Moore says we can still clinch the series tomorrow. 3 out of 4. And 3 out of 4 ain't bad. All right, guys, we're going to keep it short. We will bounce back, as Jared Miller says. But there's not a whole lot to talk about today. Yankees just ran into a hot pitcher, so I'm going to call it an early evening. My wife and I got some binging to do. I went and saw that movie this morning called No Man of God with Elijah Wood and Luke Kirby as Ted Bundy. Absolutely thrilling and theatrical film. Really good movie. I gave it 3.5 out of 5, but it's really... It's only for people who like the true crime kind of... It felt like I was watching a really good podcast more so than a film, because there wasn't a lot of... They just kind of assume everybody knows the story going in. There wasn't a lot of development of the characters and whatnot. But it was pretty solid. So that's my brief review on that. All right, guys. You guys have a great Saturday night. I will see you tomorrow. Going to do a Yankees game night, releasing around, I'd say, 5 o'clock whenever we get the lineups out. It's usually about 10 minutes after the lineups come out that I can release that. And then hopefully we'll do a recap tomorrow night. We'll see how late the game goes. I'll see ya when I see ya. Special shout out to the Patreon supporters and anyone else who has supported this channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it the old thumbs up and subscribe for more Yankees content year round. If you really enjoyed it, check out The Frieze. It's the official podcast of this channel. Or pick up some swag from the Teespring store, link in the description. Thanks for watching.